I pledge allegiance
allegiance
to
to
the
the
flag
flag
of the United States of
of
America
and to the
and to the
republic
republic for which
for
it
which
stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty
liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, everybody. Before we start our regular meeting, we're going to do the annual presentation of the MS4 program by Maggie Alex.
All right, I'm almost afraid to do this, but I'm going to share my screen and hope for no more technical difficulties here. So 1 second. All right. How about that? Can you see
You
that?
got it, Mag.
Okay.
Looks good.
All right. So I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to have to manually flip through this because it's showing on my other monitor and I'm not sure how to get that over there. So here we go. So our MS4 annual meeting, I know that all of you at this point have heard this presentation multiple times, and Sean has always given a thorough report. Therefore, everyone has a good understanding of what the stormwater permit is and the requirements we must meet in order to stay in compliance. So I'll just give a brief overview of the program itself and some highlights from 2020. I'll try to keep it brief. The village continues to be a member of the Stormwater Coalition of Albany County. We earn credits by hosting community cleanup programs such as spring cleanup and street cleaning. Despite some limitations due to COVID-19, I will say that Tony, Steve, and the DPW crew were able to inspect the majority of our catch basins and clean them as needed with the help of the neighboring municipalities and the Albany County Water Purification District. Several employees did an on-site inspection of the stormwater infrastructure in the north end. And at the beginning of May, we actually collaborated with Riverkeeper and participated in the Riverkeeper sweep by cleaning the bank at the Hudson River. Now, because that happened after last year's report period, that will be applied to our 2021 permit. And after Ecovative was just on the planning board meeting, we'll be adding their community cleanup day also going forward. Our laws for detection and elimination of illicit discharges in stormwater management were finalized in 2007, and we're happy to report that we still are in compliance. The coalition developed a system outfall and catch basin mapping system, which also delineates the water and sewer sheds within the village. The village planning and zoning boards will continue to attend trainings. In 2020, members of the code enforcement office took the required 4-hour soil and erosion control training. Although the annual CDRPC training at Hudson Valley has been put on hold, there have been several opportunities to obtain training through webinars mostly. Anne sends the classes out when they become available. Many of the associations we're members of have free ongoing trainings or classes available on their website that you can take at your convenience. Please let Anne or I know if you're having trouble with training, or if you're taking classes, please be sure to present Anne with a copy of your certificate. Zoning and planning board members need 4 hours of annual training, and the village board is required to have some training per the permit. Village employees are trained and continue to maintain the village-owned facilities. We've been keeping an eye on high traffic areas and will continue to post reminders to the public not to dump anything in the catch basins as part of our community outreach. We also share best practices in the village newsletter and will continue to share the link on our website and the coalition's website, which has a wealth of information on it. We will also continue to send training opportunities to contractors. For the past, I would say at least 2 years, we've inspected Starbuck Island at a minimum of once a week. Right now, they are, I'm happy to say there is little undisturbed land, but SWIP inspections are ongoing. The village has recorded every inspection and they are in compliance with all stormwater practices. Overall, there have been no citations or violations this year village-wide. The Hudson Avenue project was deemed complete this recording period. This was part of the Starbuck Island Sewer Offset Project. This year, we will work with the coalition on mapping the new stormwater infrastructure on Starbuck Island and Hudson Avenue. Going forward, we will continue to review all commercial development projects. The stormwater management plan has been incorporated in the site plan review. The plans are typically reviewed by a third-party engineer along with our village engineer, Gary Nathan. All comments, including public comments, are presented to the planning board before approval. The village will continue to evaluate best practices and will educate developers, contractors, employees, and the public. And overall, training is key. Here is an updated organizational chart. I'll just note that the only change from last year to this year was changing the MS4 administrator from Sean Ward to Maggie Alex. And at this point, I just want to take the opportunity to thank Sean for all of his efforts. He's been part of the coalition since its conception and chairing the committee for many of those years. So thank you for all of you done and making the transition a little bit easy for myself. The village report can be found on the village website and the coalition's website. Using these links provided. And if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Great job, Mag.
Thank you.
Does anyone on the board have any questions for Maggie?
No, we're good.
So if there's no public comment, then I will close the annual presentation and call to order our regular board meeting of May 17th. Ann, could we have the roll call?
Mayor McNulty Ryan,
Present.
Executive Assistant Ward, excuse me, Executive Assistant Alex,
Present.
Trustee Files,
Present.
Trustee Jones,
Present.
Trustee Bella Kapitsky,
Present.
Trustee McGivern,
Present.
Trustee Vieira,
Present.
Trustee Johnson,
Present.
and Attorney Legnard.
Present.
All present and accounted for. We have no public forum because of COVID. Next on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from our regular meeting on April 19th. Everyone has a copy. Does anyone have any corrections? If not, could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Rachel and Rick a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is communications. We have one from Sean Ward. Annie, you okay to do this?
The letter reads, Dear Mayor and Board of Trustees, I hereby notify you of my intention to retire from full-time service with the Village of Green Island effective May 30th, 2021. My last day in the office would be on May 28th, 2021. I could write forever about my experiences in working for this village, but out of respect for Ann Strizzi, who probably has to read this into the minutes of the village board meeting, I will keep it as brief as possible. Ann has worked within 20 feet of my desk for the majority of my career and has been invaluable with her knowledge and dedication to our village and to me as a fellow employee. It has been a pleasure to serve the community that I grew up in and have called home for the majority of my life. I wish to thank many people for the great career opportunity that I have been afforded. Mayor Mike McNulty, who first hired me and gave this young guy a chance. Mayor Jack McNulty, who promoted me and taught me valuable lessons about teamwork in government, politics, and life that could never be taught in any educational setting. Mayor Francis Len Reel, who taught me the value of hard work through his School of Hard Knocks, one of his favorite expressions. And lastly, Mayor Ellen McNulty Ryan, with whom I have served the longest and the person that has taught all of us the value of loving our community through her everyday actions, who has brought a modern, refreshing, business-like approach to our government, and one who always practices the team approach taught to us by her father. I also wish to thank the many trustees that I have served with over the years. Your support and the fact that you take the time to communicate and to understand all of the issues has made our job easier than most in government. Leaders are only as good as the people they surround themselves with. I know this all too well. We have been blessed with many great administrators, department heads, and employees, and I can leave saying that the village is in great hands with those that are running our day-to-day operations right now. I wouldn't leave if I didn't think that. Thank you all for your dedication to our community. I look forward to watching us grow even further in future years with this young, talented, and experienced team that we have in place now. I will not be too far away. I hope to stay on with the Industrial Development Agency in a part-time role to continue the great things that we have going and to keep our community the great place that it is. Thank you again. Sincerely yours, Sean E. Ward.
Well, congratulations, Ann, for getting through that. And congratulations, Sean, for all you've done for us. There are no words that I could possibly say that could validate everything that you've done for us and everything that you've been to this community. And as soon as this freaking pandemic is over with, we're going to celebrate in a good way, but we're not going to do it halfway now. We're going to wait until we can actually be together and celebrate. So I can't thank you enough, and I don't know if anyone else wants to make a comment. I think they're all wiping tears, Sean.
There isn't really much you can say except thank you for all your years of hard work with this village. I know I've learned a lot from you in the last 15 years or so, whatever that I've been involved in it, and you're going to be missed, but you left us in good hands.
But he's not far either, so.
Yeah, that's right. We know his address and we know his phone number. So
Yeah, we all
I
got
know
his
his new
number.
car now too. So
Well, I'll be back in the Monday after. I didn't tell you that. No, I'll tell you, many people go through life dreading going to work every day. And I can't think of too many days where I didn't want to go in, except for when it was 80 and sunny and I had, there was golf available. But,
Tea time.
you know, I never dreaded going into work, and that's a great position to be in. And I'm thankful to all of you and all of you before you that have given me the opportunity. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Sean.
thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
We-
now how do we keep going after that?
I don't know.
Okay, back to, next on the agenda is the approval of claims. Everyone has a copy. Does anyone have any questions?
No,
I had a whole lot of them, but Maggie and Michelle answered them all earlier today, so I'm good on that. If there are no questions, could I have a motion to pay the bills?
make the motion. Second.
Rachel? I think Bob actually seconded first. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next on the agenda is the police activity report. Everyone has a copy. Could I have a motion to accept?
so move.
Rick,
Second.
Barb, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. And I just want to stick in here with the police report. We had our street cleaning the other day, and Carlos Nazario was on, and he was on by himself because somebody didn't come in, and he still managed to go out with us, do the whole street cleaning, knocked on doors, rang doorbells. We actually had people ask us, comment to us on, not that I got it on Facebook, but just what a wonderful job he did. So I just want to give Carlos a little shout out on that he did a great job. So next on the agenda is the fire department report. Everyone has a copy. Does anyone have any questions? If not, could I have a motion to approve the fire department report?
I make the motion.
Rachel,
Second.
Rick, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is the submittal of the monthly report by the treasurer. Everyone has a copy. Does anyone have any questions? If not, could I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Make the motion.
Okay, I think I got Barb and Bob on that, but I'm not sure what order. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of the monthly report by the Parking Violations Bureau. Everyone has a copy. Could I have a motion to accept?
Make the motion.
Second.
That was Gary and Rick.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of adjustments to the water and sewer billing for May 2021. I think these are just routine that are in here. Maggie or Michelle, if you have any comments on that.
They are routine. We're in the process right now, of relevying sewer onto the village tax, but otherwise, everything is as usual.
Okay. Could I have a motion to make the adjustments?
Make the motion.
Barb, and I don't know who the second one was.
Second.
Rick, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of appointment of the following tax collectors for the 2021-2022 year. These are yearly appointments. It would be Ralph Foster, the branch manager of Catskill Hudson Bank in Green Island, Theodore Knifka, an employee of the Village of Green Island, and Michelle Bourgeois, an employee of the Village of Green Island. Could I have a motion to make those appointments?
I'll make the motion.
Motion.
Okay, I have Bob and Gary, was it?
That's what I have.
Yes.
It's Bob and Gary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of bids received for the water treatment plant chemicals. Everyone has a copy. The low bidders are noticed for each chemical. Maggie or Sean, does anyone want to make a comment on this?
This is an annual process that we go through for chemicals. Most of them, the increases were nominal within expectations. There was an 11% increase in the dry poly, which was higher than the others, but John had previously bought dry poly in bulk last year that we still have a supply of. So we'll be using that up first before we purchase more. But other than that, everything is routine.
Does anyone have any questions?
Nope.
So could I have a motion to make the low bidders surpass for the potassium permanganate, Slack for dry polyortho phosphate blend, and Slack for sodium hypochloride? I think I got them right.
Make the motion.
Barb,
Second.
Rick, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of setting a public hearing date to consider amending the village zoning law. Maggie and Sean, I don't know if you want to comment. We've been going over this for, Sean, probably 2 years now.
It's all that, 2 years with the actual committee, probably 4 years overall. But it's been a long process. There's been a lot of hard work on this behind the scenes. And it's it's really a blueprint for our future. The last time our zoning code was, it was adopted in 1978. And there's been some revisions here and there, but it's never seen a total revamp like this. And I think we've come up with a very good proposed law. And I would hope that, it's time to bring it to public presentation. And I'm hopeful that we can get some people to the Legion on June 15th at
15th.
5 o'clock and listen to the presentation as to the changes and, make comments as they see fit. But it's very, very important legislation for the village, and we want to make sure the public participates in the process.
Maggie, do you have any comments? And I know, Kristen, you've been working on this too. I don't know if anybody wants to say anything else. Okay.
I don't. Thank you.
All right. Does the board have any questions? It's just setting a date for the public hearing, so. And hopefully, it looks like we can actually do something in person, so that will be good.
Mhm.
So could I have a motion to make set the public hearing for Tuesday, June 15th at 5 PM at the Legion.
I'll make the
So-
motion. A second.
Was that Sheila did it? Okay,
Sheila and
Sheila and
Barb.
Barb, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of adopting a resolution updating the retention and disposition schedule for New York local government records. It was recently updated by the New York State Department of Education. So each local government has to adopt a resolution in order to follow update versions. Maggie or Ann, I don't know if either of you want to comment on this?
It's just as simple as that. It's just updating the current list and we can't utilize it until we adopt our resolution so that we can do some destruction.
Basically, what it's telling you is what you have to keep and what you can throw away.
Exactly.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
No,
If not, could I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Bob,
Second.
Gary, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of ratifying the mayor's signature, signing a municipal consulting agreement with Clough Harbor. We had to do this because we had to have them do some work and our last contract had lapsed with them. It's the same contract as it's always been and that we renew every year. So we did it so that we weren't held up on a project. So, and it's exactly the same as last one. So could I have a motion to
Ratify.
ratify? Thank you. I couldn't think of ratify. Ratify the resolution.
I'll make the
Some-
motion.
Rick? And
Rick
who was
Barb.
second? Barb, was that you?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of authorizing Maggie Alex to sign the yearly contract with the Albany County Youth Bureau. Ag, this is the same contract that we do every year, right?
Yeah, we get about $2,500 and it's applied towards the running the summer youth program.
Does anyone have any questions? If not, could I have a motion to authorize Maggie to sign the contract?
I'll make the
I'll make the
motion.
motion.
Okay, I have Sheila and Rachel. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. We're getting to the end, folks. Next is consideration of setting a date for the public hearing for the annual presentation of the Section 8 Rental Assistance Plan. And we'd like to set it for July 19th at our meeting in July. And it will coincide with our monthly meeting. Could I have a motion for that?
So move.
So moved.
Okay, I think I got Rick and I got Gary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of a letter of requests for a curb cut for 3133 High Street. Everyone has a copy of it. This looks like a good proposal. I don't know if we want to open it up. I think we have Michael O'Connor and Sean Ward both on there. If you want to explain anything.
Yeah, I'll start and then I'll let Mike in, but we've been talking, we've had an influx. We had a couple of houses on our block that were recently renovated, which is great for the neighborhood, great for the village. But with that, they brought about, there's 4 cars in one of them, and we're expecting another 4 cars when the other one gets rented out. So it's already a very congested block in the village. So Mike and I have been talking, we have a wide area between our houses and we have enough to meet the minimum requirements for a driveway. And we're just requesting a curb cut. And basically, we would take up 1 parking place on the street and we would get 2 to 4 vehicles off the street by doing so. And so the village, from the village's standpoint, we're requesting a curb cut in order to do so. And then we would have to work with the building department, which Maggie and Gary and I went and looked at the property last week, that we would have to meet the village's guidelines for actually driveways and parking areas and green space. So we're in the process of doing that, but we're asking the village board to just approve a curb cut for now. And then we'll work with Gary and Maggie and contractors to finalize the rest of it. I don't know if Mike has anything more he'd like to say. Mike? No.
He's muted. He doesn't want to say anything? Okay, Mag, do you have any comment?
No, just to we did, Gary and I went to the site last week. They do, have the room for the minimum requirements of the driveway, and it would just be contingent upon, the permitting process. So, as of right now, the only concern is green space, but if we can, make that work, then they should have enough room to, complete the project.
Does anyone on the board have any questions? If not, could I ask for a motion to approve the curb cut contingent upon the building department approving everything and meeting all the requirements?
Make the motion.
Make the motion.
Okay, I saw Gary there, but I don't know if somebody else went too.
Barb,
Barb, okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Do we have any other business? Dear God, I hope not. Board forum, I just wanted to, couple things I just wanted to say. Ecovative sent a group of their employees, Maggie, they must have had 40 of them, didn't they?
oh, all of that.
Yeah,
all of that.
and they came down and they cleaned up around the parks and they actually went around on the streets and did a lot of things on April 27th. So that was very good. And we also got notification this morning that a group, Back the Blue, is going to come on Monday, the 24th at 8:30 to our police department and just bring beverages and goodies for our officers. And basically what it is just to show support of our police, of all police departments. So Mag, I don't know if you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna be sending out the invitation to everyone in an email. One of the volunteers from Back the Blue reached out to us this morning to let us know they've done over 100 in police stations to date, and they're going to wrap up this project they're doing with the Green Island Police Department. So they'll be here on Monday, and it's basically just to stop by. We'll be set up outside just to say hello, just so that they know that, they have our support.
And this will be this group's 149th drop off, I think, right?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So just a couple of things. Our grievance night is going to be Tuesday, May 25th from 4 to 8 p.m. It will be a Zoom meeting. We have a public hearing on Tuesday, June 15th for consideration of the zoning code updates. And our next meeting will be Monday, June 21st at 6:20. Does anybody on the board have anything else?
No.
If
No.
not, could I please have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Rachel,
Second.
Rick, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Thanks, everybody. Have a good
Ellen.
night. And